far are the train tracks from your backyard?
Running.
Limping.
20 minutes, maybe.
People come over. Often, randomly. Friends, salesmen, religious people.
I'll make a run for it tonight, and I can stay out of your way until then.
I mean, they don't notice if I went quiet. Even for a little bit.
I just escaped from prison. The last place I want to go is back.
I'm stronger than you think.
I don't doubt that.
And I won't let anything happen to my son.
He's in good hands.
Josh Brolin, it's such a pleasure to meet you today.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. I have to congratulate you first of all on just the most captivating performance in Labour Day. I really was just so into it from beginning to end. It's amazing to see you team up with Jason Reitman, obviously. Now you're known for being incredibly discerning in your career choices, and you're not someone who's ever just done something just for the sake of it. You know, you really do pick the roles that suit you. But at what point did you realise that Frank was the role for you this time around?
Well, first of all, I don't pick roles that suit me. I try to pick roles that don't suit me because I find it interesting to kind of stretch my whatever that is, emotional psyche, whatever that is, in order, so it's usually roles that come my way that I end up saying no to, or my reaction is no.
Okay.
And usually I'm
So you
kind
go
of
against
amazed.
your gut?
I look at that reaction and I go, why did I say no? What is it that scares me? Is it the fact that I think I'll not do a good job or whatever? So with this, it was a little bit different only because I always wanted to work with Jason. I finally met him. He and I got along really well. The fact that we talked about Kate right away, which was a huge thing. And then we had to push a year and a half because Kate is Kate. Kate wanted to go do her thing and relax and be with her family and take a little bit of a break because she was working a lot. And then then Jason went off to do young adult. I went off to do Men in Black. So finally, when it came down to it and all the stars aligned, the idea of working with Kate was extremely attractive to me. And then I also like, roles that are dichotomous like this, where you pigeonhole a guy because of the way he looks, and he looks as menacing as he does, and to have that sensitivity be able to show through and to have vulnerability and romance, something that I haven't not done a lot of.
Right, yeah.
It was fun to be able to play with that.
You've described the performance, or the filming process has been quite a tough one, in that you were a little bit insecure in your performance and unsure, and that it's kind of very exposed, and your character was quite vulnerable the whole way through. Is it true that it wasn't until you finally saw it that you knew you had done a good job? I mean, you said that you were quite unsure the whole way through, and...
Yeah, I was unsure because I move a lot. Like, it's just me.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a distracting thing. If you have any insecurities that start to surface, and then you do this, or it's just that naturally, And then, so Jason's whole thing was bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Trust yourself, and trust the dialogue, and trust your looks, and trust your eyes, and all that. So he created, he wanted to really the subtleties of this. He wanted those to really shine through, as opposed to
subtle,
big, affectations that I have a tendency to lean toward. So yeah, it was sensitive. It was very vulnerabilizing. That's not a word, but I just,
You can go for it.
yeah, vulnerabilizing, and that, you're just there.
Yeah.
You can't cross your legs. You just open like this, and it's interesting. So when I watched the film, I thought, wow, it was an amazing direction that he took it.
Amazing.
A necessary direction.
One of my favourite scenes, and I'm sure everybody's the same, is the scene where you're making the peach pie. It's just so realistic, and your mouth is kind of watering when you're watching it, wanting
That's
to...
the second person out of two people that have said that.
Really?
Yeah.
So I believe you cleaned the entire town out of peaches just
You
to get
heard
it
that.
right. Is that not true?
I said that. I don't know, it sounds good, doesn't it?
You made a lot.
No, it's actually true. At least in our little town of Concord, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made a lot of pies. I made one pie per day, at least, sometimes two.
So have you been inundated with requests since then?
I have now, but the movie's over, and then it's like, hey, do you make pies every day? No, I don't make pies every day now. But I did, purely out of fear. I got good at it, though. I was very happy.
Good. You can almost smell it coming off the screen.
Good, and I did my job.
Now, I absolutely loved your performance recently in Gangster Squad and Milk, which of course you got the Oscar nomination for, and I'm sure most people will think of you and always go back to The Goonies, which was your breakout performance. But if you had to pick a career highlight or something that you would look back on most fondly, what would it be and why?
They're all highlights. I mean, when doing Grindhouse was a highlight. Doing No Country for Old Men, Milk, American Gangster. There's a lot of, when you start working with directors on this level and great writers and all that, every moment seems to be, a very humbling highlight. Right. So, W was a really strange film, something that I still don't know why I did.
Really?
But I'm really happy that I did it. And I look back at that film and I go, Men in Black 3 was another highlight, Yeah.
Now, you confirmed recently that you were in talks with Zack Snyder for the Batman role.
No, I wasn't in talks.
Oh,
he
really?
talked about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to go and give out to somebody now who told me
Yeah,
that.
no, and it's not that we sat and talked about it. My agent talked to him, and it was a
Okay.
possibility, and I think there were a few other possibilities, and I don't know if it's a direction I would have gone or not. but-
And seeing the backlash for somebody who goes for a role that's so, widely loved by everybody, and even though it's nothing to do with the person themselves, but to see how people, love this character so much and wanted to see it done well, is that something that you're happy to avoid? Or
No.
really, you'd
no.
go for it?
Oh, why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
No. I mean, look, whatever I do, W is a perfect example. People say, why are they doing this movie? Well, why do they do any movie? I mean, you're going to get backlash. And it's all over the internet now and all that. With Ben, it was a little different. It was a little severe to me. And it just from one actor to another, I just thought it's unnecessary because you forget that you're actually talking about a human being who actually has to show up at work and hopefully not have that cloud hanging over him all the time. But you know what? He's a professional. He'll do the job that he does, and I'll be the first to see it.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time.
It was just the two of us after my father left. I don't think losing my father broke my mother's heart, but rather losing love itself. Her hands started shaking beyond her control. Just leaving the house was difficult.
I wonder if you can give me a hand here.
You're bleeding. Mom, this is Frank.
He was kind enough to offer me a ride.
We really can't help you.
Frankly, this needs to happen.
Where do you want to go?
Your house.
Who are police looking for? Frank Chambers, an inmate at Cinchfield Prison serving 18 years for murder.
I'd be grateful if you let me stay till nightfall.
Isn't it against the law to hide a fugitive?
If someone were to come by, it would need to look like I kidnapped you.
How do I know you won't hurt us? I'm stronger than you think.
I've never intentionally hurt anyone in my life.
What happened?
Just know that there's more to this story than you'll see in that paper there. You won't be needing that any longer. When you have to say I tied you up, you won't be lying. Choke up on the bat, hands together. It's a good peach.
I should throw most of them away before they rot.
I have another idea. Does a fellow let a woman like your mother get away?
He got together with his secretary.
He's infected. I'll send Henry for medicine.
Keep an eye out, all right?
I should go.
Maybe you should stay.
They're not gonna stop looking.
I know.
There were two people who couldn't go out into the world, so they made a world with each other.
I'd take 20 more years just to have another 3 days with you.
I can't give you a family.
You already have.
Adele?
Are you a friend?
Just a handyman.
We're gonna hit the road and never look back.
Well, withdrawal in this quantity, this a little suspicious.
Morning, son. You want to tell me where you're going?
I came to save you, Adele.